Hi, my name is Tiffany Cameron, Reggae Girls top striker, and you are watching Ryan LFC YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Your boy Ryan LFC back again, guys. Another top shelf video for you guys today. As you guys can see in the title and the thumbnail, we're going to discuss some football, and we have a special guest waiting to introduce himself in the background. But before we get into it, people, I want you guys to be nice, no disrespectful down in the comment section. All right, just keep it clean. We can disagree to agree. All right. So if you're watching back on the replay, don't forget to share your thought down in the comment section and leave a like on the video. All right. Without further ado, we're going to introduce our guest. Dennis, good evening. Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, man. How you doing, Ryan? Glad to be here.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. How your family doing and stuff?
Everybody is good, holding on as much as we can. Everybody can. I'm not hearing you, Ryan.
Great to know that your family doing well and everybody is doing well. But first and foremost, my first question to you. Early life, place of birth. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Childhood life growing up in Jamaica.
I was born in Kingston, moved to Mandeville, grew up for maybe I went to Clarendon, but I never know myself at that time. I left Clarendon, I went to Mandeville at about 3 years old, and spent about 6 years there. My father worked at the Backside Company there, Revere and Alpart. Went to Bel Air Prep in Mandeville, then left Mandeville. And my first recollection of football, Ryan, I must tell you, is that I remember I was in about grade 4 at Bel Air, and I played a whole game and I never touched a ball, right? And I went home to my father and said, boy, you know what? I need a pair of football boots, because I thought that it was because of the lack of football boots, so I never get to touch a ball, right? So, I remember that first football boots. Came up to Kingston. My father went to work at Argan Harbour, and I went to Prairie Prep for about 2 years, and I went to the one and only Jamaica College, and was after Jamaica College, went on to the University of the West Indies. So I just give you a background on the development quickly, my academics. Did my first degree and my master's there, and then went to the United States and did my CPA, and was qualified. Finished my master's at 22 and qualified as a professional accountant at 23. So
23.
23, yeah. So I was an academic person. My father was a very brilliant person. My father started working when he was 12 years old and taught himself accounting. And rose to the ranks of financial controllers of all these entities I'm telling you about. And I always loved football. I played football. Never played for my school, but I played on various corner league clubs and that sort of thing. Always loved it. Went all over the place and played. I played up until about 2010. My friends. I used to play football, run. I was training for a marathon, and then my knee went.
Okay.
And when my knee went, I had to do knee surgery. Did knee surgery, and started cycling after that. And right now I'm an active recreational cyclist. But my push, Ryan, I must tell you, is that my greatest passion has always been Jamaica. I love Jamaica as a country, and I started, my national service early. In 1998, I was on the Betting Game and Lotteries Commission. I was actually on a FinSac Oversight Commission when FinSac happened in about 97 or so. And from there, I've always been serving on government boards, you know. And you know, I've had the good fortune of being close to persons on both on both sides of the politics. You know, I must tell you, my father was very active with the Jamaica Labour Party, and I met a lot of the guys there. I know that my father always told me that he actually hired Ed Bartlett as an accountant at Revere, you know, when he was there. And I met all of them there. In fact, I remember the night of my UE graduation, my first degree, actually leaving there and going to a dinner that was held with the political persons there. But then I became close also to the persons in the PNP. And the most gracious thing ever done for me was done for me by Portia Simpson Miller. You know, she's just an amazing lady, right? And that lady did something for me that was so kind-hearted. I'll never forget it. And this is why I tell people I've never ever, and I've never have ever, with all my public commentary, criticized Portia, right? And therefore, when she called upon me and said, that time I was still at the PSOG, and she called on me and said, "Boy, Dennis, I want you to be the chairman of the National Solid Waste Management Authority." I couldn't tell her no. I mean, apart from the fact that, I don't know if you ever met Portia, when she's in your presence.
I play for Portia Simpson, man. I play for Portia Simpson Miller team, man.
Yeah, man. And when Portia is in your presence, it's just like, you're just captivated, you know? So you couldn't say no. And I mentioned the NSOMA because when I was going there in 2015, it was seen as probably the most corrupt organization in the public sector. And persons said to me, "Boy, you know, you're going to damage your reputation." And I said, "Well, you know, you don't get reward without risk." You know, and I saw just be having the passion and the fact that Portia asked me, and I said, "You know what? I have to go there." And the only thing I said to her is that I want a corporate secretary to come with me, corporate secretary, lawyer to be on the board. And I want Butch Hendrickson to be on the board with me, you know, and the rest is history. And it's not the first time. I mean, I remember I was appointed chairman of a subsidiary of JUTC by Mike Henry. And that year, it was a time when Douglas Chambers was murdered at JUTC. It was actually a good friend of mine. And I was appointed chairman, and when we took it over, we were losing like $2 million a month. And we were about 3 years behind in our financial statements. And after 2 years, we were making $3 million a month, and we're fully up to date with our financial statements. And when the government changed, Dr. Davis reappointed me as chairman. So when I went to NSWMA and I was appointed by Portia Simpson Miller and reappointed by Holness, it was actually the second time that it happened. We brought NSWMA up to date, and we're fully compliant now. 9 years, we're 9 years behind in our terms of our audited financial statements. We're fully up to date now with it. Great team there, you know. And I said that to you, Ryan, that I'm one who is about Jamaica, you know. So, you know, people have labeled me, when the PNP is in power, they labeled me PNP. When the JLP is in power, they label me JLP. And it just one of them things you roll with, right? Because once you're doing service for your country, you do service for your country. You know what I mean? So I've sat on a few boards. I've resigned from boards because I didn't like certain decisions that was taken by the minister, you know. And I've always felt that I need to do something for the country, because my view, Ryan, is that, you know, your calling is in talking about football. I mean, that's a contribution. But I think that everybody, once you're born you need to make a contribution somehow to public life.
Uh-huh.
Because if you don't do it, then you really have not done anything, of value, and therefore I roll with the punches. I mean, people criticize, people say, boy, how much money I getting at NSWMA. Sitting on a government board costs you money.
Uh-huh.
People don't understand. It costs you money, it costs you personal time. You put your name at risk, but you do it because you love a country. And I was talking to Ronnie Thwaites. I remember when Ronnie Thwaites was on the radio on Power 106, and he said something to me that was very profound. He said to me, Dennis, when you talk about prosperity, you can never be really prosperous if the persons around you are poor, Because if you are rich and everybody else around you poor, you can't enjoy life, And there I was talking to him about it the other day too, and he was saying after he retired, and he was saying, boy, Dennis, with all the work that we've done, things just get worse. But the way I look at it is that if we didn't do that, things would have been much worse.
Uh-huh.
So I have a good relationship across the board, and it's because I respect all these guys. People bash politicians, Ryan, but the truth is that they make a lot of sacrifice. I remember in the latter days of Siaga, I was very close to him. I remember going up to see him one day. I used to go up and see him almost every week at the university, and we used to talk for long hours. In fact, he had appointed me his nominee on UTEC Council, and we used to talk, and he said to me that, boy, Dennis, the one thing I regret about life is that I've given so much in public service that I never get to spend enough time with my children. And I remember when the invasion happened in Tivoli in 2010.
Uh-huh.
I went to talk to him, and I saw the hurt in his face. That man loved the people that he worked with.
And they love Tivoli Beijing, man.
Yeah,
Love
man.
Tivoli different,
Yeah,
man.
man.
On national TV, the man are crying.
Yeah, man.
On
Yeah,
national
man.
TV, the man say, yo, mess with my people, them,
Yeah.
It really hurt him for true.
Yeah, man. So I mean that's essentially me. I mean, I grew up in a middle class family. My father came from a very, very poor background. Worked his way up. And my father at 12 started working and sent his 8 siblings to school. At 12 he was supporting them. And I took a lot from him. And the most important thing that he taught me, Ryan, and my uncle said it to me the other day. The most important thing I've learned from my father is that the most important thing in life is integrity. And I remember being on the betting game in Lotteries Commission, and the chairman at the time, Gordon Robinson, said to us, and I couldn't agree more. And I worked with some great guys there. Mike Surridge was the head of the RPD, the first head of the RPD. Bonnie Goodison, Bonnie Goodison from music fame. And Gordon said to me, guys, before we do anything wrong, we're going to go back to eating bun and cheese for the rest of our lives. I never forgot that, because at the time, the gaming industry was not properly regulated, and there was a lot of things going on that, an unscrupulous person could make money from. But we never wavered. And that for me has always been, what stand out for me, transparency, good governance, integrity, because I like to sleep good at nights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to owe anybody money. I don't want to owe anybody any favors. I don't want to know that I've done something wrong, for somebody to come and upset me. And that's just how I live my life. I will eat patties for the rest of my life if it means that I have to stand up for integrity.
Yeah. Virgin, trust me, man. Like, I don't know, man. It's like a fresher breath here, because I'm going to tell you the truth, We're going to get into it, because I do my research on you, Trust me. Trust me. I really do my research on you. And out of 15% when I talked to from last week till now, I haven't hears nothing wrong about anything bad about it. But we'll get into that. But you said you went to school, but you didn't make a school team, right?
I didn't try out for it, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I-
more book for you. It's more book for you.
Yeah, it was more academic. My father was an academic person, you know, but
Mhm.
my brother was on the Manning Cup team,
Yeah.
right?
Which,
Um,
which which high school your brother attend?
Jamaica College, man. Only one school in Jamaica and around.
Jesus Christ.
The rest of them, I tell all my friends that the rest of them is daycare center.
Oh, yeah, I said to myself, nah, man, you can't disagree to Excelsior, man. Nah, sir.
My uncle actually went to Excelsior and he played All Manning in 1977.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Garth Grant.
Okay,
Played
okay,
All Manning
okay.
in 1977. He played for Jeffrey Maxwell. Jeffrey
Yeah.
Maxwell.
Jeffrey Maxwell win a lot of title with Excelsior.
Yeah, man. He won a lot of Walker Cup titles. My uncle actually played for them in 77.
Yeah. But you didn't play for Jamaica College, but you went to Jamaican College.
Yeah.
All right. So when
And,
you
and
leave,
I tell you, Ryan, I love football so much that the reason why I chose Jamaica College in common entrance was because JC had won Manning Cup the most times. At the
yeah,
time I went there, they won it for 19 times. And you know, all the time I was there, I never win it once.
yeah, yeah. So how much because you know me always when I interview, especially the Ulmas, the
Yeah.
KC, the Judge, how much you give back to Jamaica College or as a past student?
A lot. I was actually on the Old Boys Association with Carl Hendrickson. I don't know if you know Carl Hendrickson from National Continental and he owned Pegasus and thing. And I was on the JC board with Danny Williams. In fact, I tell people all the while, I was on the Jamaica College board that actually brought Royal Reed to Jamaica College.
Yeah,
And he did a fantastic job there. Yes, I was on the board and then I was on the foundation of Jamaica College. And the reason why I left the foundation, I was there for a few years, is that I actually went to UTEC on the Council of UTEC at the request of Mr. Siaga. And I was on UTEC for a little while as finance committee chair too. But I've given back a lot to JC. I mean, you know, people will call you sometimes and say they need some money to do something. And you do that because, you know, you try help. And the truth is that, Ryan, you know, Jamaica College is like a lodge. You know, when a man call you and say, boy, I went, it's someone calling who used to go to JC,
yeah,
you take the call.
yeah.
Yeah, man, you take the call, man. It don't matter who it is, you don't know the person. Once the man say I went to JC, you take the call. And that's how we operate.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I remember when I just went to Basco and the person asked me what school you attend. And the person said, I attend Excels. I must say, yo, you're lucky, bro. If you attend KC, you didn't have to do the interview.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's like a lodge. But, you know, that's what I love about Jamaica, the high school connection, especially
Yeah.
when you went to certain schools like Excelsior, Jamaica College, you know, Kingston College.
Good man.
I've been going to stadium from 1977 every year, watch Manning Cup and Champs. You know, that sort of team spirit you never get. You know, when you go to schools like the schools we went to, you know what it is like to win. You know, you win a Walker Cup, you win a Manning Cup, you win Champs. You know, and that's what I love about them schools. It teach you, you know, how to accept wins with humility, and it teach you how to accept defeats with humility too.
Yeah. Most definitely. So you say you work with both party, the Jamaica,
Yeah,
the People National Party and the Labour Party. What has you learned over the years with both party?
I think, you know, and what I've learned is that most politicians really have a knack for service to Jamaica. You have a few of them that you know, just like in Jamaica, it's a few people that cause the criminality, you know. So you might have a few politicians, but most of them that I work with, they give their life to it. I must tell you, I couldn't do it, what they do. You know, they give up a lot of their life, their time, their money, everything. And therefore I have friends on both sides. And you know, I have disagreements with them, but at the end of the day, one famous one is Fitz Jackson, who, you know, with this banking regulation thing, fees, and me and him cuss all the while on radio and thing on interviews, and after that we call each other and we have a lunch.
Yeah.
You know, and Michael Phillips went to school with me. Peter Phillips was a Jamaica College old boy. You know, as I said, I knew most of the Jamaica Labour Party support ministers from a while, you know. And I must tell you, let me give you this story about Portia, Ryan. And this lady is just an amazing lady.
So let you know, you're live, right? You're live, you know. Because we tell you, say, the interview is live, it's not recorded.
Yeah, man. You know, one thing about me, Ryan, I never do anything in my life that I can't disclose. Because I anything I do can be shared.
Okay.
You know, that's how I live my life.
All right.
So when I was on JUTC board, the contractor general had done a report, and I had, to be honest with you, I had come off of the board for a little while before Douglas died, was killed, because I had stopped going. I was actually going to resign because I did not like, to be honest with you, how some of the management were being dealt with by the board. And I protested, and I said, listen, I don't like it. I can't sit on a board that deal with management, deal with people like that, right? Douglas was killed. Douglas was a good friend, and I said I go back on the board and trying to help them out. The contractor general wrote a report that was implicating Douglas and certain members of the finance committee. I was on the finance committee, and I think that the report was not accurate and was not fair because it didn't get enough information. And in fact, you know, when I did a few years after, and I became very close to this policeman, to Carl Berry, he came to interview me, and he said, you know, Mr. Chung, I have interviewed over 300 persons, and nothing corroborates anything about corruption. You know, and the DPP actually, how I became close to the director of public prosecutions also, she actually issued a report and said that there is nothing that implicates anybody, and based on the investigation. And she said that, you know, we must be careful as government people about writing reports about people, because the only thing that a man has to protect is his reputation, and you don't write things like that. But you know, when the thing happened and the newspapers took it over, and you know the media were there already, they jump on everything. I was at home one day, and Sandra Faulkner, who was a minister at the time, I knew her very well, she called me, and she said to me, Dennis, come down to my house. I live close to Sandra. And when I went down there, I saw Raymond Price, Sandra Faulkner, and Lambert Brown. And you know what they said to me? And that was the first time I was meeting Raymond, and you know, I became close to Raymond and Lambert. I knew Lambert before through the union thing. And they said to me, you know, we were sent here by the Prime Minister, Portia Simpson Miller, because she said to us that we must help you through this, because she knows that I did nothing wrong. I never forget that, Ryan. That was the most gracious thing. I never knew Portia before, you know. Never knew her before. But she was just that type of person. And I never forgot that. You know. So I developed a serious amount of respect for her because of that personal experience. You know, and I came to know her. You know, my office was across from Jamaica House at Peso, and I used to go over there all the while. and have meetings with her, and she's just a fabulous lady, and I find that in my interaction with politicians, most of them are great people. It's just that I find, Ryan, that it is the people who support the parties who are most vicious.
Yeah.
The politicians themselves are not like that. And I know I've spoken, I've been close to a lot of them. I speak to a lot of them. They're not like that. But they give up their lives, their public lives, and I've done some of that, because the truth is that I'm somewhat of an introvert. People don't believe, but the reason why that is, Ryan, is because you're judged, because you do something publicly. People judge you unfairly, and the truth is that sometimes, Ryan, you go out on a Friday night and you want to have fun, and somebody coming to talk to you about the economy. Really? On a Friday night? You know what I mean? So you do the next best thing, and you stay home and watch a movie.
So he has been served a number of business in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
And when you look at your record, I just see someone down in the comment section say, a long time we need somebody like you in the Football Federation. Why the Football Federation? Why Jamaican Football Federation?
All right.
You get contact?
Yeah, let me tell you about that one. That one go around. So I've had an interesting experiences. So when my son was about 12 years old, right? Craig Butler, Craig Butler.
Yes, man.
Craig went to JC with me,
Yeah.
So when my son was about 12 years old, he was a very good footballer, very useful footballer, but he lacked confidence. And I was talking to Craig one day, and Craig said, "Boy, bring him up to Phoenix and come help me with Phoenix," right? And we worked with the Phoenix team, and I remember very clearly up by Stony Hill Academy in Hart Academy in Stony Hill. You know who was playing on that team, who was 9 years old at the time, Ryan?
Leon Bailey.
Leon Chippy Bailey.
Yeah.
And I remember Leon.
Kyle Lida played on the team.
Kyle Butler. And you have some good ball on the team. And Bullhead, who is Craig.
Yeah.
Did some good work. I was actually the manager of the team. That team had an average age of about 10 or 11, under 13 Kasafa. And it came second in the competition.
Yeah. I remember because Craig beat me in a quarterfinal. That same them play Boys Town at at Barbican Football Stadium.
Yeah, man. I was the manager of the team, and in fact, Ryan, I have my runner manager's medal.
Yeah.
Displayed on my medal rack very proudly. So that was sort of my first foray into football administration. And when I saw Leon the other day, or Chippy I call him, and when I was at the Argentina match, and me and him talking, I'm saying, "Boy, Chippy, my memory of you is this little 9-year-old boy, that up by Stony Hill." And what worked for him, I don't think Chippy was a useful baller, but he wasn't the best footballer on the team, But let me tell you something, Ryan. You see, when training finished, Chippy used to stay for an extra hour or 2 hours every day after. And he used to put in the work. So I wasn't surprised when he got there. A very, very obedient little boy. I remember Chippy, and that's how I met Chippy. In fact, when he went to Genk, remember when he went to Genk Football Club Europe, the first football club he played in Europe, he actually gave me a jersey, which I have inside there,
Yeah.
Gave me a jersey. You can imagine how valuable that jersey is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I had that jersey, number 31.
31.
Yeah. So I mean, it was nice seeing him. When I went up to watch the Argentina match, see how he is. He has evolved. I had. And people know that I had a problem with the comments that Andre Blake had made as captain. Spoke to Andre. Andre is a great guy. And he has his heart in the right place. So had some good interaction with the players. In fact, you know my favorite player is sit down and watch is Ravel.
Ravel.
Yeah, man. I just love, Ravel remind me of Ryan. He reminds me of Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just someone who take the ball, hold it, settle the game,
Dictate the
you
game.
know, and move it around and see like 2-3 passes down the line, you know.
We call him Lord Ravel.
Yeah, man, boy, I'm good, man. I'm good. So I tell him, I said, boy, Rafael, you're my little baller still,
Yeah.
you know. So when Craig, before Chippy started playing for the football team, Craig called me at PSOG. I was CEO at the time. And Craig said, boy, Dennis, the president, Mike Ricketts. I said, boy, I don't know him still, but I will call him. What you want me to do? And say, I love, because, they were.
Which year this? Which year this? You remember the year?
This was about 2012 or something like that, right? And Craig said to me, boy, Dennis, I want to get Chippy in the side, but he had an issue. Him and JFF was at odds, right? So I called Mike Ricketts. I never know Mike, I called him and I said, boy, President, I really would have loved to set up for you and Craig talk and look at getting Chippy in the team. And or Leon, I say, and him say, President say, yeah, let's talk. And I set up him and Craig talk. And from there in history, Craig, Leon got in the team. That's how I started to talk to Mike. And one day Mike called me and said, boy, Dennis, I really want you to help me with the finance committee and come on the board. And I said, yeah, man, no problem. Because
just like that.
Yeah, because I'm the type of person, Ryan, that if it's going to benefit Jamaica, right, I will do it. And people will say to me, boy, how you can get involved in things like that. I did it at NSWMA, right? But I am so confident, Ryan, I'm telling you, in my integrity, right, that I will go and assist where I can, right? Because nobody can corrupt me. I can tell you that. Right? Nobody not going to corrupt me, right? And I found working with Mike, and what a lot of people don't realize is that this thing about GenSec, right? He was the one who actually asked me to do it, so it was his initiative, right? And he has been asking me for a little while, and I said to him, no, because at the time, it was a few weeks after we dealt with the thing with Dalton. So we were asked to sit on a committee to see what the options were under the contract. By this time, I had no idea about no GenSec. My thought is not there. And then a few weeks after that, in fact, it was a week of the Argentina match that Mike come to me and said, boy, Dennis, you already, because by that time I'd already resigned from Supreme Ventures, and he said, boy, Dennis, come help me, right? And I say, what, Mike? All right, fine. Let's talk about it, right? But what's important for me is that I said to him, you have to call the directors and get the majority agreeing, right? And I want to know that I'm going to get support from public. And let me tell you something, Ryan. The calls that I get supporting the move from heads of major companies in Jamaica, right? So they say, boy, anything we can do to help. So I know once I go in, I'm going to go for some sponsorship money, right?
Listen, man. Listen,
right?
I'm not going to be a hypocrite now. I'm straightforward. I don't know if you ever come across my video. I am the man who always burn the fire on the JFF, all right? And last night, I do a video. I am a man. I always want to speak the truth, all right? I am just going to keep it 100%. And you talk about that. So, hear this now. May I tell you honest truth. Sitting right here and I speak to you. This is how me feel. Bro, I feel hurt by how the Football Federation deal with football in general in Jamaica and the national team. And because they make so many mistakes over the years, even you, bro, I have to went out and ask Carl, is this person all right? When me see it coming at the Gleaner, is this, you must say Ryan? But me still have that, you know when
Yeah, doubt.
I have the doubt. Trust me, me sit in front here right now, Virgin. I have the doubt because of so many incompetent the football
Yeah.
federation and the stress.
But Ryan, let me tell you something, right? And I said to people all the while, I've been chairman for 2 years, right? At the finance committee and on the board for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. And the president will tell you, we cuss all the while, you know. We cuss all the while. Because people within the board see the things that go wrong. But what is important is that we have our disagreements, and where we are now is as a result of those disagreements and the president listening, right? But at the end of the day, we have a responsibility as a board that whatever we agree in the meetings, right? We need to protect the organization. And that's how I operate, right? But we cuss all the while, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that what you have done, Ryan, and your commentary helps also, because disagreement is good. I believe in disagreement. If I have somebody who always telling me that I did the right thing, then I don't want that person around me, because them can't help me improve. I improve with people disagreeing with me. What I always ask for, though, is that whatever you do, there must be respect.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing.
Virgin, I try my best, and even when the people them call into the show, I try to make them keep it clean. But me I tell you say, me want good for Jamaica. No kill them say me negative and speed and all of the man them say me nah not no good. Virgin, you see whenever I see the JFF look at them going in the right direction, all me have to do is just grab on to the party, you know. I am here. My duty is to make sure that the JFF do the right thing at all costs.
And I agree with you, Ryan. And I can tell you that and remember, all of this is being led by the president, you know. And the president, I think, is doing some very good things. The new coaching staff that's on board, positive. He has made some changes internally. We have been meeting as a small committee to look at the finances over the past few weeks, every week, right? And streamlining the thing, make sure the right procurement policies are in place, working with FIFA. We have been doing all of that. You know, Ryan, since I've been chairman over the past 2 years, and we have our audited accounts fully up to date, right? Many institutions that criticize us don't have that, right? But you know that for the past 2 years, we've made a surplus.
Yeah, but when you look at the statement, and it make a surplus, but you guys broke though.
No, the reason for that, right, is because we had a huge deficit coming forward.
Okay.
So it's like you have a large debt coming forward and you're making money, you know, but the debt just is a burden. So I'm looking at it, and right now in front of my table right now, there's a list of payables that I'm looking at. And I'm looking at ways in which we can actually deal with it. And we have some plans, right? So we have paid off, for example, the tax liabilities that the JFF had, right? So all the principal balances, we've paid that off, and we've made deliberate attempts to do all of it. And not the first thing, because remember, I'm coming from the experience of the NSWMAT, you know, right? So I know what this is like, and I know what it requires to actually get this thing dealt with. And I am confident that where we are, we can make a significant dent in it by next year. And remember, the last 2 years we made a surplus, even though we had COVID years. So we couldn't make any money at the stadium from the matches. The plans that we have in place, with support from people like you, the support that I'm getting, I get called from ministers of government and people who head regional bodies and people from overseas saying they support the move for me to become GenSec, right? But there's a process that needs to be followed, right? And the board is looking at it, and the board has to vote on it. But let me tell you, Ryan, from where I sit, I know that we are going to do everything to bring transparency, good governance, right? And also continue that path and qualify for World Cup in 2026 with the coach that we have now. I speak to the coach, and you know, one of the things that I loved at the Argentina match, which people won't see if it's televised, but I'm in the box and looking down, and a change is being made on the Jamaica team. And the assistant coach, who is from Sweden, very good and qualified guy, putting on a player and have a tablet showing him what the player is going to be like. That is international standard, you know. You understand what I say?
Me talk about it on my show, say, when me see the cameraman spin the camera on the bench, you see, we coach, let's be fair and be honest, we see parallel with him stuff and thing, but you see more than one coach writing down on the bench at the Argentina game. And I give the JFF so much credit to go and get a good and proper coach, and who have the qualification, who have the experience, been there, done that, bringing a team to a nation, Euro, bringing the team to the World Cup. So him have a lot of experience and thing. And we have good players. But one thing always let us down. We have good coach right now, good backroom staff, right? But one of the things we keep stressing, can the administration come up to the coach and the players them level? Me not ask them for be 100%. All I'm asking for them is just give me 65. Just give me 65 where we say, yeah, when you been there, when you help, and me can feel good.
But Ryan, what I'm telling you, right? And I'm telling you,
listen, I'm telling you, sir,
the part that the
Dennis, I'm telling you, right now, may I tell you the truth, nobody in the Football Federation, because through them did a long time, may I leave everything upon your shoulder, and you, me I go ramp and me I go make video and say, Dennis, what, me I go put pressure, because I am the man who I believe say, we can qualify for World Cup, and not only a senior World Cup, youth World Cup, and the Gen Sec role come with a lot of pressure. You think you can manage that?
Yeah, listen. I will take the pressure. I have taken the pressure at places like NSWMA, right? And I will take the pressure. And it's only fair. I mean, if I'm going to be in a position like that, I must be held accountable. As I said, you know, this is why I know that it would be a conflict of interest for me to be the finance committee chair. The finance committee chair is someone I should report to, right? So the governance for me is very, very important. Right, and I don't have a problem with that. I will come and talk to you every week and tell you what is happening, right? Because I think that football is critical. Listen, in 1998 in Iran, when I sit down in the stadium and when we qualify, when we play in Mexico, you know, the feeling will come over me, you know, right? It was an amazing feeling. If we can bring back that to Jamaica in 2026. Say boy, and remember, this coach qualified Iceland, which have 340,000 people, you know, right? And when you look at the quality of our players that we have, right? I would love to be a part of an institution that bring that sort of joy to Jamaica. And by all means, if you are not holding me accountable, then you're not doing your job. You need to hold me accountable. You need to hold everybody accountable who is representing Jamaican football. And I agree with it, right? All I ask, Ryan, is that people should just be respectful. That's all I ask, right? It's very important to respect each other because we're all human beings and we make mistakes, right? And you know, by you making a commentary, you can help somebody, right? But you see, when people are disrespectful with it, they lose the communication. And that's what we don't want. We just want the respect, you know, and that for me is important. You know, the worst thing for me. Yeah, man, you go far, far away, man. Respect is the ultimate thing. Respect and humility. One thing my mother teach me, you know, respect and humility. Never forget that. Right? And therefore, I think that it's important for people to criticize me because I don't grow. If I'm not criticized, I don't grow. You know the thing about the emperor's clothes. I don't want to be the emperor, right? Where someone telling me my clothes look good and I'm naked.
Yeah.
I mean, I want people to criticize me. And at the end of the day, I'm a cyclist. So at the end of the day, I take the criticism, and then I sat them on and Sunday morning I go ride my bicycle and deal with the stress.
So, bad Gaza. I don't know what the issue is, bro. He has disrespect any player, any people from the administration. So you keep on a stress. All the man is asked for respect. I has never disrespect.
No. I've never seen. I've seen your videos. I've never seen your disrespect. I've seen you make some real harsh commentary, and there's nothing wrong with that.
So you see me video them, right?
Yeah, man. I see it, man. I see it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
good. Boy, I mean, I tell you, like, and when I speak, it's for the people that have a problem in my community. It's when I speak to most of the people them from my JFF, they don't have a problem with no. But yet still the fans them keep on saying me negative. Anyway, so I have one of my co-hosts. Him don't have any camera tonight, so I'm still going to bring him on. Him name JT Taylor, the man that get the most stick for the Football Federation. Always defending the Football Federation. JT, good evening. Welcome to the show.
All right, bless up Ryan, bless up Dennis Chung on screen.
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Can you? Yes. So Ryan, so Mr. Chung, yeah, I'm also from Mandeville. You probably know Wint Road. Went to NCU. So
Yeah, man. I
you
used to
see,
live on Winter Road, up Winter Road.
yeah, I live next to Brooks Park football field, right there. So
Okay, yeah. I used to live off Winter. I used to live on Wind Close.
went close, okay. And you also
Yeah.
went to JC with my uncle Deall Carr as well. You and Kirk and those guys. So yeah, it's just crazy. And
So
as Ryan,
you come from good stock then. If you have JC man in your family.
well, yeah, I think Mandeville is just a good place overall. I'm currently in Sweden though, so
Okay.
we're fully plugged in with the Jamaican football. Though
Yeah.
I'm talking to you nicely here, I want you to let you know that for me, I'm a patriot, and it's with football first. As far as Jamaica getting to where we need to get to, some of your comments about the past and that feeling, I just hope we can rejuvenate the fans to get back to that place where I remember walking into the national stadium and that feeling when
Yeah.
Jamaica went out to play. You spoke about looking at some of the finances of the JFF.
Yeah.
Have you spotted any anomalies as far as spending, and was the monies being distributed correctly as in the way that FIFA intended? Were those some of the things that caused the debt, or it was misspending, or anything that you spotted?
No, the debt, let me tell you something. A lot of the debt came from before the current administration. It was coming from a long time ago. So those things that you run up bills and you weren't able to find the funding to actually do it. But you have to put on matches, you have to pay players, that sort of thing. I haven't seen anything that is out of the ordinary, right? Of course, what we've done, under the charge of the president is we've tightened up on certain controls. As I said, we've had a surplus over the past year. Small, 15 million Jamaican and 5 million Jamaican, but it's better than what was there before in terms of deficit. And from where I sit, I think it's just going to improve. We had, I think last year or the year before, we had a budget for the first time in JFF. A budget was done before the start of the next financial year, which the president insisted that was done. So there are things happening. It's just that we don't go out and blow the horn, because I don't believe in talking about what we're doing. What's important is the results. So when we get to a point now where we say, hey, we have this thing in place, right? The president can go and talk about that. He's the leader of the organization. He's the one who is asking for these initiatives to be in place. But we're doing what we can. And what I can guarantee you is that Myself, from my perspective, my integrity is the most important thing to me, right? Because the most important thing you can leave for your children is a good name, right? And I can tell you that some people have come in, some changes have been made, and those persons are persons who will ensure that the organization move forward. And based on the mandate that we get from the president, and what he's been putting in place, I know, I know JT, and I know, well, Ryan calls himself golden child, right? I know that I'm looking for the gold medal in Ryan. He's a golden child.
What have it, man, what have it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know that people have been hurt because of what has happened in football over the past few years. I know that, right? And and therefore, I'm not asking people to make a turnaround. Have your doubts still. Have your doubts, but then hold us accountable for what's going to happen going forward.
Mhm.
That is the important thing, right? We can't do anything about the past. The past has happened, and a lot of the things, even persons who are directors were upset about it, right? I can tell you that. But there has been a change in the initiatives that the president asked for, and I think that we're on the up. So, as I said, we've had a surplus. We've been reducing our deficit. I think we're going to continue to do that, and that's all we can guarantee. We can't say that we can fix what happened already, because you can't fix what happened already. But going forward, once I get the support of people like Ryan, yourself, the people in the public, corporate Jamaica, we're going to make a difference. We're going to do what we need to do, because I know that feeling in 1998, and I want us to get back there, in 2026, that when we go to our World Cup and we see the Jamaica, like with the track and field. I mean, one of the most, one of the best feelings in track and field, it's not the race. You see them stand up on the podium and they play the national anthem.
Sure.
Yeah, man, that is where we want to get to. I would love to be ambitious and say we're going to win the World Cup, but I know that would be way, way too ambitious.
Yeah.
we like that, man. We like that. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Chung. Yeah, because what I want to do here is I want to just like hash out a lot of the questions the fans have, and I understand that I'm one of the person who has always touted the idea that we have to move forward, give the JFF a clean slate. However, history, we don't want history to repeat itself. Um, there was a point where the JFF, I think what really exposed the JFF, it all started. I know people had their dismays and they felt a certain way about the JFF, but right when that negotiation took place, I don't know if you saw that when the negotiation took place with the players, and it was like a little corner shop negotiation, like a man say me give you a thing and you play for Jamaica. Then the JFF became they went under the microscope from there on out. Then we started to have these logistic problems. I understand that COVID-19 was a part of the reason, and nobody could have foreseen that COVID-19 was going to come and it was going to cause this disruption in in travel and all these things. But I think logistics was one of the key things. Logistics, what are some of your plans to remedy the logistic issues that Jamaica has been having, where players stuck in an airport? The whole debacle that took place in Suriname, where players wanted to protest. These are some of
Yeah,
the
man.
things that's really riling up the fans. How are you going to make sure these things don't occur again?
Well, the logistics in any company, I mean, apart from systems, it really boils down to people, right? People is what makes a competitive advantage in an organization and a country also, right? And I think that the changes that have been made internally by the president, we have certainly on November 1, an excellent organizer coming in. We already have a projects officer that has started. And we have a are certain things that has to be, and we're going to make sure. I mean, for example, JFF doesn't play one match that it hasn't played before. All matches in terms of organization are the same thing. I'll give you a simple example, JT. What we need to have is a checklist in place. So when we know we're doing a match, we need to have a plan that's already in place, a template that, hey, these are the things that need to happen, right? And you check them off, simple things like that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be down to the people. I know we've had some problems with competence, right? But as I said, the president has made the changes, right? And I see it already happening in terms of certain things with organization. It's happening. And we're going to continue. So I can tell you that, you know, once I have a part to play in it, and certainly already on the board, I'm doing that. And with this committee that the president has every week, you know, we're going to make sure it happens, because that is a commitment that we have. You know, I'm not saying that things can slip, right? But, you know, we are going to do everything in our power and within our competence to make sure it happens. And I understand when the whole thing came about the negotiations. The truth is that I was on a committee that was negotiating at the time too. And there were some disagreements. One of the things that caused the challenges is that, you know, a lot of the things were aired publicly. You know, and a lot of the things that were aired publicly were not necessarily so. It was, you know, when you have negotiations, just like, I mean, any relationship you're in, right? People's perception is sometimes, or many times, influenced by their emotions. So one of the things I always say to people, if I'm upset about something, before I talk about it, I go sleep. And when I sleep, I will wake up with a different perspective. Many times we don't do that, right? And I'm not going to guarantee and say nothing will happen. Things will happen, right? But what I can tell you, right, and what I am always about, is that I am always transparent. I'm not hiding anything. I will tell you exactly how something go, even if it won't implicate me, right? Because I know, say, you deserve to know, and I am going to try my best. And if something happens, I'm going to say, hey guys, this is what happened. You know, because I expect that when I come and talk to Ryan and say, boy, Ryan, you know, say I mess up here, Ryan going to say, boy, well, you know, make us see how we can help you fix this. I'll move forward. That's what I want, right? Because at the end of the day, all of us are Jamaicans. And what we want, we have one ultimate goal, right? To see Jamaica football do well, to get to that 2026 field again. You know, and that's what I'm going to guarantee.
And that's what the fans have been asking about, because that's also one of the major issues where the JFF had a lot of shortcomings, was the way they communicate with the fans. I felt like the JFF was behaving like they didn't have to communicate with the fans. It's like, show up, watch some football, and we run
man.
things.
No,
we have to change that.
Yeah, JT, I agree with you. Right? The way I am, and if you watch me at any sub-MA, all in place, I talk. Sometimes I talk more than I should talk, but I talk because I think that people have a right to know, right? And that's just how I am, right? I was telling somebody today, right, that my telephone number, I've had my telephone number for over 20 years, right? I don't change telephone number, same telephone number. If a man walk up to me on the street and say, hey, Dennis, give me a number, I give it to him, right? Because if a man really wants a number, he will get it. And I don't have a problem, right, with discussion and communication. I think it's important. It's critical, especially in something like that, because the fans, the Jamaicans, they have a serious investment in this thing, you know, and that investment is emotional. When a man, you know, I always tell people, you see when a man curse you, it's because him love you. You see when a man stop talk to you, you in a relationship, Ryan, and you go home and you doing things wrong, and all of a sudden no argument. You have a problem, you know?
True. when a woman not arguing you, she don't care about.
Man.
You know, I will
when somebody arguing with me,
yeah.
I am happy for that.
That's good. And me like where JT Taylor said. We need for more hear from the JFF, not seems like them over this and we over there. So the whole of we want good. You understand? The
Yeah.
whole of we have the same goal. You understand? But at the same time, when mistake happen, they just like, yo, you know, for talk about it. All right. And even sometime with the player, I speak to many players and they frustrated with how JFF deal with things. You understand? While I always said players come first, players is the brand. You
You know,
understand?
I must tell you, Ryan, that sometimes, I mean, it's not just JFF. I mean, you'll find that because of the emotions, the other side also have some accountability. You know who my cousin is. Humans is who qualify the girls.
Yeah.
Is my cousin, you know.
What I say?
Yeah, man. So Hugh, I mean, me and Hugh cuss all the while, too, right? I was actually, he was in New York because he was coaching a team up there that's owned by Kevin Durant. So I stayed with him for one of the nights there. And me and Hugh cuss all the while. I mean, my cousin love him because when I was a little boy, my big cousin, and him used to take me on the bus and carry me all over the place, you know. But what it is that there's emotions on both sides, right? And we'll have our disagreements, but at the end of the day, we disagree and we respectfully disagree, and then we sit down and say, all right, how we gonna solve this thing, right? And I tell you something about you. I tell it to him all the while. I remember being at home 1 year before the girls went to World Cup, right? And Hugh came to Jamaica. And he said, boy, Dennis, come check me. And I go check him, and we're eating some jerk chicken up by Ligani, you know. And Hugh said to me, boy, Dennis, 1 year before World Cup, Hugh said to me, Dennis, I have a set of girls who go in World Cup next year. I'm gonna say, what you mean, Hugh? How you can tell that from now? He said, let me tell you something. He said to me that based on how these girls think, they're going to qualify, right? I always tell people that story. I reminded them about it the other day because he always said to me that my main selection of putting girls on the team is that not just skill, but they have to be thinkers. They have to be either college bound or in college. And once I get that, I know I have a mold that I can put and create any way I want, right? So he knew this 1 year before World Cup that was going to qualify, and me and you have our disagreements, but at the end of the day, my cousin, and we respect each other, and that's the sort of relationship I think that we all need to develop. That we have our differences. Everybody have a different opinion. If everybody has the same opinion, then we wouldn't have car today. Because everybody would still be with running up and down in a wheel to try to figure out how this square here can make it work round and roll. So I have that connection also, and Hugh, when I was Hugh is very supportive also. And when I was up there, we're talking about the football. He's giving me some tips on it too. So he's very supportive. He's very supportive of the initiatives that are happening also now. And he wants to come back and help us with grassroots development too. And I've had many calls from people overseas, Jamaicans in diaspora, who actually head sporting institutions that help the country. And they're very supportive of the move. As I said, I mean, I'm not in that position yet. And the board needs to make a decision. The board needs to make that decision, and you have to go through the corporate governance process. But if I get there, if we can agree and I get there, then I'm going to give it 110%. Because I just have this passion for Jamaica. I want to see Jamaica the better. Even when I ride, right? And when I see the garbage collectors, every time I ride, I stop and I talk to them. Right? I stop my bicycle when I'm coming up and I talk to them, make sure they're okay. Right? Because that's the sort of thing I think we need to develop. Right?
Communication is a key.
Um, and you know, unless we get there, then JFF and it's Jamaica we're dealing with. Yeah, man, it's critical. It's critical. You know, only thing I can tell is that after a certain hours, you don't get me because I go my bed early. But you know, I believe in communication.
Okay, fair enough. So,
Many other questions.
before we
Yeah.
go to somebody, because Boris Johnson, former Reggae Boyz player, down in the comment section, have a lot to say, and we're going to get to that. But before we get to that, JT Taylor, go ahead with the rest of the question.
Yeah, I thought that was the Prime Minister of England, Boris Boris Johnson. But yeah,
Hold on, him look like him internet a little bit, so give him some
yeah,
time to come.
I'll give him some time. I like where he's going, Ryan, with this. We got another Gen Sec from the Manchester area, from Mandeville. Hopefully, he will get it right. However, he seems like someone as well who's willing to talk to the media, and I'm glad that Dennis is has acknowledged that YouTube is also the new form of media, Ryan. That this is where the fire burn, where Ryan them a swing the belt hot. The belt them soak when them used to beat your school and then soak the belt in a salt water.
It's why I tell you, say the fire can't stop. Cannot
Yes,
stop,
yes,
man.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Um,
man. Dr. Alice Ryan.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead, JT. JT, you were saying. Go ahead, continue, JT. What you saying?
Yeah. I was saying, Dennis, I'm really impressed with the fact that you have acknowledged that YouTube is also a new medium that is gaining a lot of ground on traditional
Yeah.
mediums, as to where these are where the fans are able to voice their opinion, because a fan just watching TVG and CVM, them only can argue with them TV, but here them can write them comment and make their thoughts be known to you. Let's jump a little bit where it comes to marketing strategies and sponsorship. If you could elaborate a little bit on, is the Adidas deal something that is able to, is it going to be financing all the projects that you guys have in set up for the upcoming year, or you're gonna have to, and what's your approach gonna be as far as with the private and public sectors, as far as getting those
Yeah.
sponsorships and getting those individuals on board?
Yeah, my recollection, right, is that the deal is not going to cover everything. It won't cover everything. It's actually a good deal, but I don't think it will cover everything. So we're going to have to get sponsorship, and I believe that sponsorship must come by creating value, right? You can't just go and put your hand out and somebody doesn't get value. I believe there's a lot of value in JFF once you structure it properly, right? There's a lot of marketing value in JFF, you know, and that's what we're going to do. So we need to work on the product, and the product, not just in terms of the brand. We have an excellent brand, but the main product that we need to work on now is one of the administration, right? We're gonna make sure that we are seen as transparent. You know, that's what the president wants. We're seen as transparent. We're going to put proper governance in place, and we're going to add value. So when the Reggae Boyz is out there, there's value in that. There's a lot of exposure in that. If we engage people, I mean, I certainly believe in social media, right? I know that, you know, most people get their news in Jamaica from WhatsApp and Facebook and now YouTube, right? Those are the three main places. Those are the things that we need to do to reach our audience, because we have a captive audience. It's just that we need to know how to reach it. So if I have social media and I can reach a million persons through social media, that's a million people, right? That I can create that brand for. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have to go out.
Okay, I think
For the private, for the public, and first, and that's what we're going to do, JT.
all right, all right, all right. That sounds very good. We want to step a little bit forward into the immediate future. I think a lot of the fans would say that they don't think that JFF is doing enough as far as the new internet age and how you have to be proactive as far as social media is concerned. Especially like fans have to be digging up stuff. The websites are not updated. The JFF YouTube, them said the girl gone America and she must have lost the email address. All those stuff. Like, we're talking about a football federation for our entire country and somebody gone with the email address. Like, just think about how that sounds. Are you gonna be, because a lot of times when we have discussions with Mr. Speed, he tends to say that some of these things are not under the technical committee, which we do understand. Because I think this year, since last year, come on, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I think a lot of fans have learned how important the general secretary job is. We did know that the general secretary job is almost the heart or the engine of the JFF. So basically, you're gonna be the man where, when it comes to a lot of things being targets being met and things activities being carried out, is gonna fall on your shoulder. As far as the new social media age, why is there things you have in place that's gonna remedy some of these
Yeah,
shortcomings?
well, what I said to you, JT, remember, I'm not the general secretary, and there's no guarantee. The board has
Okay,
to
so
meet
you
on
don't have
that.
the job yet.
No.
Okay, so
No,
what's going on? Clear that up
no,
for us, because
no.
I
The
think you have the
board,
job.
the board has to take a decision on that, as to whether I have it or not, and that's a process that must be followed. So what I'm talking to you now is my views and what I think should happen.
Okay.
I certainly agree with you from my view that we have not done enough as a federation to engage through social media. There's a lot that can be done, and there's just a whole market out there. I know that. So I think that it must be done. It's
Okay.
through the
Yeah.
media that people are
So,
talking. So
so Dennis, though, you say not get you don't get the job, but my source telling me that 150% slam down already.
no, I don't
Eh?
think so.
No, man. My
Nothing in
my
life
source
is
are
certain.
wrong.
Nothing in life is certain.
No, my source are wrong, Virgin. But them say 150% it's slam down. They yeah.
No, nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Them.
Are you still there?
I think him so.
Are you still there? Are you freeze?
Yeah, man, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, so so tell me something about the
No, man.
Argentina game. Are you still there? Are you hearing us? Dennis, are you hearing us?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we're a bit behind.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. What are you saying about the Argentina game?
Yeah, the
I'm hearing
Argentina
you.
game.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, the Argentina game. Is it a win-win for the JFF? Meaning profit wise for that game?
We haven't finished tabulating everything yet in terms of the numbers, right? So I couldn't tell you that. What I can tell you, and the president did say that, is that for the first time in a very long time, we actually paid the players their per diem while they were there.
Ryan,
Right?
Ryan, wait. I want to
That
ask Miss. Wait,
Well done, man. Well done.
no, Mr. Cho. Right now, him kind of Ryan. I don't know if him kind of himself, but we're gonna find out now. So, what is your current employment status as far as the JFF is concerned? Because you're displaying information that only somebody who's employed by the JFF.
No,
Can
but
No,
remember say
no,
the technical. Remember say
no,
the way name.
I'm a chairman. I'm a
And
chairman of the finance committee, and the president did say that.
Okay, okay, you're the chairman of the
Yeah.
okay. Oh, makes sense, because Mr. Ryan, him
still
so
about
like him have the job
still
already.
the title of the video.
Yeah, yeah, but Ryan, you know me now. I'm very concerned more about the football and the there was a lot of negativity around the JFF, and I kind of moved away from that because I'm more concerned about the football players feeling comfortable with getting the best players out there and getting the fans back on board. I kind of stayed away from the JFF thing for a little while because it was a bit draining. It took over the spotlight of the actual team. The
Ah,
JFF actually took the spotlight from the team, and that's where we need to get back the team on the forefront, and the JFF is in the background getting the job done. But
ah,
continue, Ryan.
yeah. So yeah, you were explaining yourself about the Adidas, about the Argentina game.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that we don't have the final thing on it. But what I can say is that, as I said, and the president did say that we paid the per diem while we were there, right? So the per diem was paid. In fact, most of the matches that were owed for, all of that has been cleared up, right? I think we maybe of the 14 matches that were owed for, we have maybe about two more, right? So we've paid off quite a bit, and we have a schedule for the payment for the rest of them to happen. So we're making progress. You know, as I said, it's going to be slow progress because of the huge debt that has been carried forward. You know, but we are confident that we're going in the right direction. You know, and we understand the issue of the finances. That's key, and therefore that's why the president has set up this meeting every week, right? So we have this meeting every week, where we talk about the whole thing about finances.
Okay. So tell me something about the speed say they not qualify for the World Cup because the JFF about $1 million
$1 billion.
$1 billion Jamaican dollar, right?
Yeah.
So how far we are, is that correct?
Yeah, he would know the numbers about that because you do get money when to qualify.
Okay.
When you
So
qualify for it.
the reason why I'm ask that still, if we spend $1 billion in a World Cup qualify, and you said we have we pay the player them for the every World Cup game.
No, the World Cup, I think we're all for the World Cup qualified, but all the other games, right? After that, we've paid that off. So we're looking at how we can liquidate all that. We've paid some of it already, but we still have some funds outstanding for it.
Okay.
So we can, how
So
we can
is
liquidate.
it a case that the World Cup qualifier game them more expensive than the Nation League games them?
It depends on the players who are playing. So the World Cup might be a little more expensive because you try and get the best players and they're coming from Europe, right?
Okay.
So it costs a bit of money to carry them in, right? Because I mean, if you're traveling for that sort of time, it have to be business class. So, you know, for Nations Cup and all of that, you use mostly local players in many cases, so it don't cost you that much. But it depends on the player availability and you know who is coming from where and where you play. You know, so when we play, for example, in this side of the hemisphere, then you know you have to be carrying a lot of players from Europe. You know, a lot of our players are England based. You know, if you were to play, for example, over there, it might not be that much. You know, so it depends on where you play, you know, and that sort of thing.
You know what I love for the JFF? I would love for us to get one of them ear companies sponsor the Football Federation like 98, because I think that that would
Yeah.
be not a whole heap of debt on the JFF, because to booking ticket from
Yeah.
England, I think we need to get, whether we need to work on a sponsorship with the airline. I think that would be a great move by the Football Federation, especially in a modern time, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's something that the president is looking at. You know, he has some announcements to make, and something that he's looking at. So, you know, what I can guarantee you is that he's thinking about a lot of things and a lot of initiatives that needs to happen, and he's putting what needs to be put in place to get it done.
So,
You
Yeah.
know, but
JTT, I know you want to come in, and I know a lot of people is calling. All right. So, hold it, people. One last thing about this Adidas deal. So, my source telling me that the Football Federation is getting 2 million US dollar a year with equipment, jersey for every national team. Is that true?
I couldn't comment on that. To
Okay.
be honest with you, couldn't comment on that.
Can, yeah, we can. We
Go,
can.
go, go ahead, Taylor. Go ahead.
Yes, so I think Ryan, you touched on a pretty important point because as Dennis said that he spoke about the cost for bringing in players from the UK, and that seems like it's eating up a lot of our budget. And we don't want a situation where we're not having our best players because of monetary reasons. So I think, as you said, Ryan,
Mhm.
maybe having a sponsorship with an airline to kind of
That'd be good.
alleviate some of that cost, that I think that would be a really good one. On the previous Gensec, because you know he's a person that the fans are, if you want to get the fans them riled up on YouTube, you just call the previous Gensec name and we just start the fire. No, I would understand if the JFF will have to pay him off over a period of time. Um, is the negotiation still in is it ongoing negotiations, or they're gonna is there any agreements so he can be fully relinquish his duties? Because we don't know what's happening. Some people say I'm still working there, some people say we don't know. So I love that you spoke about that transparency, because I think that's gonna help you
Yeah,
a lot.
well, let me say, JT, that I mean, um, that is something. I mean, it couldn't be that. I mean, logically, um, the president said that a new GenSec is going to be announced soon, so he couldn't announce a new GenSec if one is in place already. So you know that does take care of that myth. In terms of a contract that someone has, you know, that's not something I could speak to.
Speak
I
on.
couldn't I couldn't speak on a personal contract with that somebody have. You know, I think that people deserve their privacy. We have to respect that. So I couldn't speak on that. You know, and the person who can speak on those things is the president. You know, I couldn't address that.
Yes, the reason why I ask you those questions, because you see, these are the things that gets the fans really upset.
Yeah, man. I understand that, you know. I'm just saying that, you know, I know my pay grade. Eh?
Yeah, yeah, and I respect that. I'm just it's just I think going forward, and based on how you articulated yourself early on in the interview, that show me that you have a willingness just to be, because a lot of people don't understand. Jamaican people, you say if you come out and say to we say, listen, as you said, I saw it going on, we don't really have the money, but
Yeah.
we want to do this. People will get on board. But this thing where we have the fans in the shadow and we just say, go and go buy a ticket, show up at the stadium. People are frustrated. We don't want to have that going forward. And a lot of times I had to defend the JFF on here, but it was like I'm defending them while being blindsided by stuff coming out a week later where I said, Lord God, you can't save them. So I hope going forward you will just keep up this
Well,
communication.
I'm an open book, you know. I don't know any other way, you
Yeah.
know. I
Taylor,
mean,
I'm open book. I tell you, say, the people them were, yeah, man, him good, Taylor. I have to just give him the benefit of the doubt, give him a chance, because me I hear some really good thing.
yeah,
Really, really good thing. Yeah.
I will speak about. There are certain things that I know I can't speak about because the president have to talk about it. But you know, I'm an open book. You know, what I can talk about, I'll always talk about. I don't believe in holding back information, especially when the public is involved in it. You know.
Okay.
So tell me something, because this under 17 coming up, right? This under 17 coming up in February. So we have at least 4 months to prepare the young team to go on. What we don't want to keep and repeat with the Football Federation. I know you're going to be a part of the Gen 6, so you're going
Well,
to
I don't know. You have a crystal ball there, Ryan. That boy, if I could use your crystal ball, I'd buy a lot of stocks and make money.
no, me now say you
Yeah.
different from what me I say. You understand? You have the job slammed down 150, but going forward, would I you know get the Gen 6? So let's put it like that, all right? Because you don't get it yet. Whether you be on the board going forward, the under 17, I would love for them to prepare the under 17, because I think it's very crucial for us to do well. Keep qualified for under 17 and under 20 World Cup. I think this is the only chance we have to qualify for a men's team. And it's going to be in February. I don't want the JFF to do the late thing like 1 month, them I do trials, this. Now the time. Now is the time.
Yeah, well, that's really a question for the technical person who is Rudolph,
Okay, fair.
I couldn't respond to that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, because that's important, Dennis. Because
Yeah, man.
with the under 20 team, it was on YouTube. People were trying to get money for plane tickets for players to come to Jamaica to play for the national team,
Yeah.
and that tells me there's some breakdown happening in the JFF where it's a lack of preparation. It's like dog eat my homework, and it's just not good enough for the fans. So I hope with you the stuff that you said tonight, I hope that we can have more preparation and planning
Yeah,
for
well,
things
remember,
in advance.
and I always say, you see, all of these things that are happening, right, which are positive, is initiated by the president.
Okay.
And let's not forget that, that he's the one who is initiating all of this, and ensuring all of this happens. Because I couldn't get up and do certain things, Rudolph couldn't get up and do certain things unless he says, yeah, guys, this is the path that we want to go down, so I am pretty confident that, with what he's doing, that, it will continue. I have a lot of hope, and I know that what will happen with football going forward, the JFF is going to be positive, as I say, I'm not saying that you won't have bumps in the road, but overall, as we move forward, we're going to do everything to make it positive, and that's the task that the president has put in front of us.
So I want to tell you this, Virgin. A whole heap of people believe in you and believe that you can make a difference, believe that you can make changes. Not mean for sack people, none of them things there. I'm talking about doing your job properly. All right? And I just want to give it a message. You have a whole heap of people behind the scene believe in you, especially in the diaspora. Avenue right now, amount of people text me. I say, Ryan, this man, we should have another thing long time, because of how you speak or you communicate, you're not hiding from
The problem, Ryan, is that I'm not old enough to be here a long time.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
I'm a youngster, 18.
18.
Ryan get confused. All I'm gonna say.
No. Me get confused. But listen, I just want to let you guys know that I just want the best for the football, and I just want you guys to just do the right thing when it come on to Jamaican football. And even Percy say, Ryan, them hear your name, but them never see the face. You understand? Them say them hear the name, but them never see the face. You understand? To you come on the Ryan LFC show and I talk to the people them. We appreciate that, Bridget. We really do appreciate that, and I hope more people can come. Because ain't anybody a disrespect, you know, right?
No. I mean, and I'm used to it. I'm used to the badgering, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because them believe say when them come, me I go make people call in and disrespect them. That's one. That's most of the people them from the JFF.
Yeah,
You know?
man,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty confident. As I said, it's a lot of the initiatives is the president, you know. So give him his due because an organization don't move without the leader.
Yeah, a lot of people said if me have conversation with a whole lot of people behind the scene, right? And they talk about the president. He's a very good. He's a nice guy,
Yeah, man.
friendly. What your relationship with the president and
No,
stuff?
I have a very good relationship with him. You know, as I said, he was the one who carried me there because he asked me to come and assist him. And I gave my commitment that I'd assist him. And one thing about me, Ryan, is that, and this is what I hate. What I don't like is hypocrites, right? If I have a problem with you, Ryan, I won't say in front of your face I have a problem with you, right? And therefore, I will always give my support. As long as I feel. If I don't feel that I should give it, I won't give it, and I'll leave it. But I will always give support, and I'll always say what I believe. I am not going to say something and it's not so, right? Because as I said, I love sleep good at night, right? And that for me is very important. I can't deal with the people who say things one way and then another time them say something else. And that's why I watch your video, Ryan, and I like it. I mean, come to me and cuss me off and all of that. And after that, you come buy me a drink, you know? And that's just how I move.
But as far as because there was a I know Ryan probably is wrapping up soon. There's a disconnection with the fans. Who are you if you're appointed as the Gen Sec? Because one of the things I think is we need to have more home games, but as we learned that home games can be expensive for the federation. But I think home games is one of the keys to getting the fans again involved in seeing their team. How is are you looking at anything like going forward
Yeah.
where we can
What
remedy
what
that?
what what I'll say to you is that the president has recognized all of that and he has some plans in place.
Hmm.
Right now what we're focused on, the girls match. 'Cause remember, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that the most successful team is the women's senior team. you know. Two World Cups now, no other team has done that. And we have two games coming up in November against Paraguay, on the 10th in Montego Bay and the 13th in Kingston. We're expecting that those will be great games. Our girls, the girls have, they're in the top teams. They've done very well. Um, and then we have the senior team, men's senior team, playing Cameroon on November 9th, in Cameroon. So, we have quite a few games coming up. Obviously, there is more opportunity in the local games, but there is still opportunity in the international games. And the president is putting together a task force to say how he can actually maximize on those things. So what I say, JT, is that those things that you say have been recognized, and the first step in solving our problem is recognizing the problem, and that has been done, and we're going to be moving. As I said, the president has some announcements that he needs to make, and I should just look for it, and we have a good coach, we have a good coaching staff in place. So I'm pretty confident about the future, and I want to see us qualify in 2026. So this is why I'm giving what I can to.
Yeah. Are you talk about one man is not a one man thing, it's a team thing.
Yeah.
So as again, my source telling me we have a lot of people coming behind the scene, new people going to come in with the administration to make it better.
Yeah, we have a few persons coming in. Well, one project officer has come in already. We have someone else coming in on November 1, right? We're looking at one or two other persons. So we're trying to bolster the team that's there. We have some good people, right? And I don't believe, you see, that there's anything like bad workers. I mean, most of the workers are good. What we need is properly led people, right? And hopefully we can put the infrastructure in place to properly lead people and develop people. Because that for me is key. You know, you need to, you know, when you're working with people, you need to develop them, you know, and point them in a certain direction. Because as a manager, you have a responsibility for the people that you lead to, you know, and I think the commitment is there to ensure that they get that development, you know, and therefore there are some good persons there. They work very hard. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I like people work hard and smart, but
Yeah.
how many of the new person come? You see, some know some of the things are going behind the scene. How many
Yeah,
of
man,
them are
you
doing?
crystal ball you have, you know, so I want to know which stocks going up to Monday.
I mean, I gotta tell you, the message I make you know. But
Yeah.
how many of these new person coming in are young? Because when I look at the organization, you need experience in the organization. But I think in an organization, in the football federation, I think we need a couple young people to freshen up things. That's how me
Yeah,
believe.
man. Yeah,
People,
man. Yeah,
football
man.
minded people.
So
That's
the
why
person,
I ask you. Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, the persons are young, man. Well, they're younger than me, right? I can tell you that, right?
Young like them age. Give me a estimate. Them age.
I don't know exactly. I would say you're talking about your 30 odd, 40 odd,
Okay,
you know?
okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay.
Remember, younger than me, you know, so, you
Yeah,
know, yeah.
yeah.
Mr. Okay.
Young and
Right.
smart at the same time, because I believe that if we can get a few more young people in it, and especially couple of our past player them in the administration, because these players understand know what it mean to play for Jamaica, and them understand some of the problem them have in the
Yeah.
past. So having them like my thing, Samuel Eto'o, he's take over at Cameroon, right? And trust me, he has changed so much in the Cameroon Football Federation, because some of the things he said that listen, Cameroon football need a total reform, and that's what I believe Jamaica need, a total reform. And to know a player that been in the hot seat many times playing for Cameroon and the whole heap of ups and downs. I think in Jamaica we need some of the we need a total reform. But as I said, they are taking them time, bringing a few. I'm just hoping this is. I want to be positive. I'm just hoping this is not because of the election is coming up. The president them doing this stuff. I just hope not, and they just looking at the long term vision. But Cameroon, I don't know. I'm going to send you something about Cameroon football that Samuel Eto'o since him arrived, and
Yeah.
in the I'm going to send you some a
Yeah, man, I would
few,
appreciate that.
yeah man, and stuff. So yeah, Taylor, you have something to say?
Yes, this is probably my final suggestion or slash question, but slash something innovative. When you look at Jamaica, Dennis, you can entertainment is one of our strong points. Tourism.
Right.
Um, I was thinking about why the Jamaican Football Federation don't look into more cooperative endeavors with like African nations, where even when you look at in the music now, Afrobeats is one of the biggest thing. Like let's say you're having a big game, Jamaica, Nigeria at the National Stadium, you bring over a person like a Burna Boy for the halftime show, to where football now is also a cultural exchange, and you're bringing all those young people in Jamaica who knows about these people, and you're now also turning them into fans into the team, like
So,
merging a little bit with the
JT,
entertainment sector.
JT,
Yeah.
you were talking to the president before this,
No, 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 no. I never
because
spoke to the president.
he actually had those suggestions at a meeting recently.
I never spoke to the president before.
So,
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know, one other thing, I just interview somebody from the okay now Owen in the young man that the CEO of the Jamaican Premier League, and he speak about some of these things that bringing fans to the venue, entertainment at halftime, the giveaway, bring in the artists that can cry out people to come and support and you know. So some of these things ain't my sense. So I'm glad the president I think that way
Yeah.
and thing.
Yeah, because it's more about creative. Because I spoke to the head of the Nigerian diaspora. This is someone who I'm friends with, Mrs. The Biki Dabari from Nigeria, and she was one of the person who was involved in orchestrating that straight flight from Nigeria, from Lagos to Jamaica. So Africa is trying to also create that tie with the Caribbean. So I think it would be nice if Jamaica can actually be some of the pioneers or some of the front runners in kind of making that link, because a lot of people think say Africa far, because you have to fly through Europe. But if there's straight flights from Jamaica to Africa, is actually shorter than going through Europe. So I'm saying is, I hope we have some innovative thinkers going forward where we can also merge cultures and just make football cool again in a way to get the young people involved. Because the young people, when you look in the stadium, when I'm looking at the fans, it's not a very young crowd. It's adults, a lot of adults.
Yeah, I think that the president is working, as I said, on a task force, look at the whole marketing thing. So I think you'll see a lot of those things coming out, JT. But it's always good for people like you to make the suggestions, because no one has a monopoly on ideas. So this is why the dialogue is so important. So that you say something as a Jamaican, you have an experience we don't have, and we try and implement it and bring things together, bring ideas together. So I mean, respect for that.
JT and Boris Johnson say no, say them they gonna cost a lot of money to bring Burna Boy at the National Stadium.
No. It was just listen.
It's just
Listen.
yeah.
Ryan, those people respect Jamaica and music, because a lot of them get inspired by our music. So it's the way how you negotiate these things, and if you turn it, sometimes things can be. It's how you pitch something to a person. If it's a cultural exchange, they won't approach it in the way of just a promoter inviting them. This is linking culture. They're representing a whole continent, and black people, and it's the way you pitch things. Is if you go to a man and say I need to pay like a promoter, then he's gonna treat you like a promoter. But I think the JFF can utilize the power of Jamaican culture to merge things and get deals through in different ways. Just creative ideas. I don't have the answers, but I'm just thinking in an innovative way.
Yeah, man, I agree with you.
And you see the Adidas deal, you talk about culture. Look what Adidas, make it just can't wait, pan.
Yeah.
You know, my love about it, Dennis. Every time I see you doing interview, you have on a Jamaican jersey.
Yeah, man, I have to represent.
Yeah. And Boris Johnson sent for ask. I think Boris Johnson, you missed the first part of the show, so you need to go back and watch the first part of the show. Oh, important the national team is to Dennis. All right, Boris. You need to send some of your cone and your ball. Go down go give the football federation. All right? Yeah. El Poto. Yeah, so the fans them really like the interview. Hopefully in the future we can have you on. Whenever you become the Jensen.
I like your crystal ball, man.
Trust me, Bridget. It's a pleasure speaking to you. 1 hour and 45 minutes, and that, Bridget, I really appreciate it. And it was so easy, bam bam, and you didn't give me enough fight and to set up the interview. So I really appreciate it. And this is what I always tell my viewers. I know you said it many times. You're welcome the bashing and thing, but listen, I told people this. Not because I do an interview, I am still going to burn you when you're supposed to get burned, and when you're supposed to get the credit, I'm going to give you. I am a fair person. All right? Yeah. So I'm just let you know.
That's all we can ask for.
Yeah. And me know, like today, for JT, you realize that the comment section, it not have that fight there. I don't know if I always set the tempo of the interview. You think I don't want to set the tempo of the interview tonight, JT?
No, it was simple. It's the fans are just asking for transparency. It's not rocket science. I've been telling Mr. Speed this. When you hide from people and they're behind curtain, people don't trust you. I think Dennis set the precedence with this is how we're gonna do it. And if I'm wrong, that's Ryan, it's that simple.
Bro, say, every time with the interview with Jamaican people, with the people from the JFF, you have this back and forth with the fans. I say, yo, Speed never do that. Speed never said that. Speed never said. And like today, Bridging, I'm telling you, like peace ruining at the place, Bridging. Peace ruin. Trust me. Like the fans, them always have this divide, and you know what I mean. So it seems like you have I think I always start off the interview with JT. I
Yes, you
think I
guys.
need to involve more.
Maybe we need to take this interview got start out Ukraine war.
Yeah, it's a template. You set a template tonight, Ryan, into
Yeah,
solving.
it was a good interview, man. And me no know, me no know for some reason me just like hear the people them story where them coming from, Bridging. I think that leaves. Sometimes me that work, me not have nothing to watch, but I'm gonna watch back some of my interview them. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let Dennis know and Ryan. Them same funny and fling rock stone when anything now work.
Yeah, yeah.
Just tonight, the honeymoon phase. But just I tell you because these people really care about Jamaican football. May I
Yeah,
tell
man, you
you.
see that. You see that.
Yeah,
As
man.
I said, the man who stopped arguing is the most dangerous man.
Yeah.
Because that means him give up on you.
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
time, every time, every time. Sometimes my wife usually do me that. No, just say yeah. It's like I don't really even care. Ryan, do whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. And me, I say, oh my god, I'm always I try pick with her, I try to, for sure. If it's but trust me, man. Like, listen, I really like the positive what me I hear behind the scene, but some of the positive what me I hear behind the scene, fans, I will bring it to you behind the scene. But for right now, me have to just hold tight on the information that we may have. Some great thing going on behind the scene, and I hope the great things it's a long term thing and it's not a short term thing because relationship election is coming up. So my hope is a long term strategy. Must say people some great thing is going on behind the scene and I really do appreciate what is the football federation is doing and I hope them continue. What the last saying? Anything new coming up? What the last saying to the fans? Them? You have the last saying, Mr.
Yeah,
Ben.
just be yourself, be real, be Jamaicans, I mean that's all I have to do. Because we all love Jamaica, wants Jamaica to well, you know. Um, and that's what I said to everybody, and let's talk, let's keep talking to each other. That's how we improve, and let's keep disagreeing with each other, because that's how we improve, you
Mm.
know. So
JT.
that's and respect to you and golden child and Taylor. I don't see the gold medal yet, but yeah, it might be
The
silver child.
golden child virgin is for make sure that the JFF do the right thing because we just
Uh,
want me believe say if the JFF start to do the right thing, I think we have a great chance making it to the World Cup because when you look at our youngster them, when you look at our players them, the
yeah, man.
diaspora, when you're looking
Yeah,
at our
man.
diaspora, bro, we have some great player virgin.
Yeah,
So
man.
I just think that's the key missing from
Yeah,
us getting the success and stuff. And the JPL is going on good. I must say that, man. I'm going
yeah,
to cover the JPL. The JPL is going on so good. The Jamaican Premier League, and when you look at them staff, what Chris Williams is doing is fantastic, man.
yeah,
I'm
man.
just want to
Excellent.
see.
But,
Football
but,
is
but it's a Jamaica college old boy too.
Lord God. It seems like I've got to get all of the Jamaica.
College,
And
oh boy, then.
Craig even asked for the link for come on the show, but I sent it to him and him never come. So big up yourself. So it seems like the Jamaican college old boy them seem like them will come for just bring Jamaica on top.
The
I thought
world, man. The
KC
world. I take over the
had
world,
that
man.
still. Hmm?
I take over the world.
Yeah, yeah. And my final words, Ryan, is just a comment from Boris Johnson, his final comment. I think this summarizes everything that the fans feel and hope. He says to Dennis Strong, please help to rescue our football. I think that's where we are now. We just need, I think that's it for me. That's all it is. That's all we're asking you. That's it for me tonight, Ryan. 4 a.m. European time. I will clock out. Bless up, Dennis Strong. You
Yeah,
guys have a
man.
good night.
Respect.
All right, peace.
Yeah, man. All right.
Sir, I want to tell you, man, thank you for coming, man. Really appreciate it. Listen, the door is open anytime. I'll tell you, you know. So whenever you get the job, remember, I need you back on the show and thing,
I tell you,
right?
I want a crystal ball so I can buy some stocks come next week.
No, man. No, me I tell you, it's a slam down, Bridget. Me have a slam down. It's a slam down, man. You have the job already, man. It's yours. It's yours.
Yeah,
Nobody can take it away from you or come back though. No. You have this one and me as a man me work off of information. You see the first time you think publishing in the paper, me say, who is this brother? I'm gonna say boom and call a few person in the diaspora and call them a Jamaica and them I say, Ryan, trust me, he's a very good person. And may I tell you the truth, exactly what them say. I hope them not draw him down in them corruption. And when I call somebody else, you know what them say? Long as the problem start, you're gone. You're
yeah,
gone left them because you believe that your dignity, your name, may I always tell people when they say your name, don't make it stain.
yeah,
And a
man.
lot of people, may I tell you, bro, a lot of people trust in your bridging. And a particular person call me, and once a person they call me and say, Ryan, him good, I have to say, all right, my general. I have to just say, all right, me give it. Because them man there is all about transparency. Them man there is all about for Jamaica do well. And I just want to tell you, man, thank you very much for coming. Really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the weekend.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
it's not a long weekend for Jamaica, but it's a long weekend for here in Canada. So
Next weekend is
enjoy.
our long weekend.
It's a long weekend for you guys.
Yeah, man. Heroes weekend is next weekend.
Next weekend. Next
Yeah, so
weekend.
I'm actually going to be on the bicycle. Once a year, we do a ride to from Kingston to Negril. So I'm going to be doing that next weekend.
What? From Kingston to Negril?
Yeah, man. 158 miles.
For real?
Yeah, man. This is my 10th year now, so this is a special year for me. 10th year doing it.
No, no, no. We say when I ride from Kingston to Negril.
Yeah, man.
Oh. On the highway?
No, we're going Mount Ross away.
That's a long way. That's a long way. Bridging, I hope you're safe and you travel, Bridging, and big up to the family. Bridging, more want to see you win. All right? My
Yeah,
thing is
man.
just more want to see you win. And my thanks for you come and share some light and thing. And see your students come. Craig come here. Let's see you, Craig. Craig, good evening.
What go on? How you do?
I'm doing good, man. I have the two JC man them on board.
Went to school about the same time. Dennis was about a couple years older than me.
2 years. 2 years.
Yeah. Couple is two, Dennis.
Hey, put on your light, man. You can't be coming through in the dark in them thing, man.
You sure?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I'm outside with my dogs, bro.
Yeah, man.
Outside.
Respect, Craig.
Outside, chill with my doggies,
Yeah, man. I was just telling Ryan I still have my medal, Craig. Remember the run-out medal for the under 13 Casafa?
Yeah. I remember that. That was
Yeah, man.
and you did say some profound words
Yes.
back then,
Yeah, man.
which actually would be good if you carried that on into your new position. I believe that.
Don't, but, me not understand, Craig. You are right at crystal ball.
No, the reality of it is that there isn't a better person currently in Jamaica with the qualifications that you have. the experience you've had. Weren't you head of the Business Association of Jamaica at one point?
PSOJ.
PSOJ, yeah. So it's important that these leadership qualities are recognized and taken into consideration when deciding to replace someone who was extremely incompetent.
Yeah,
You know,
we're not go down the line,
the
man.
same
We're not
thing
go down the
twice.
line.
And if you look at some of the mistakes that Dalton made, they were actually very administratively tied. You know, you add ego to poor organization, and then you have someone who make mistakes and don't know how to apologize.
Craig, let Dalton, man.
You know, but
We're
as
not
I
gonna
said,
say, oh, man.
if you look at the position that is available,
Craig, he's up for a long time.
Yeah, man. They got Dalton, Craig. Come on, man. Come on.
that's it.
Yeah, that Craig lost him dog. But
Yeah.
Craig gotta wrap up. Craig gotta wrap up, you know. So we're gonna catch you back on the next one.
Yeah, man.
All right, Craig.
Yeah, man. Craig, all right, right.
I'll get back to
Craig.
My phone battery died. I've got some.
Craig, we're gonna leave. We're gonna leave because we're there long enough, man. We're gonna leave you now. All right. Okay. So Craig gone. So anyway, Bridging, appreciate it, Bridging. Thanks, man. All right.
All right. Respect, man. Good
Sleep,
talk.
all right.
Yeah, man. Cool. All right, everybody. Yeah.
People, here you have it. Like the video, people. This is very good interview, no, man. Me a beg you for like the video. Like the video, no, man, people, man. Come on, people, man. That's all you have to do, man. Just like it, people. But anyway, big up on yourself, people. Enough love and respect. Like, share, subscribe, and check out the merchandise store. All right, people? Merch is here. Reggae Boyz fans, don't forget to check out the merchandise. Follow the movements. Support the movements. Purchase the merchandise. Reggae Boyz Nation. We have the hat. We have the cups. Check it out. We have a lot of different merchandise in the store. Show your boy Ryan LFC some love and support. Buying the merchandise. Let me know. What do you guys think about the merchandise? Would you guys purchase one of the merchandise? I would really appreciate it. It help the channel, bro. And it help the channel put back some money in the channel to buy equipment. So I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Peace.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Cameron, Reggae Girls top striker, and you are watching Ryan LFC YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.